Dell came to Manning in October of 1950 with her parents, William and Melanie Brown, and son Bob. They moved to Manning after researching which community would need a quality clothing store in the north. They bought the old McClarty furniture store and turned it into a quality fashion center. Dell and Nanny alternated working with Brownie in the store. Every spring, Browns held fashion shows in the Avenue Hall. They were known for the latest fashions and also for wedding dresses. Girls came from all over the north to buy their dresses at Brown's.
Made of this. Don't forget a small moonbeam. Fold in lightly with a dream. Your lips and mine, two sips of wine. Memories are made of this. Then at the wedding bells, one house.
Nanny and Dell both liked to decorate cars and had floats in every parade.
For the flavor, stir carefully through the days. See how the flavors.
In the early 70s, Dell decided to build a new store, so Herb Simpson jacked up the old one and pulled it to the back of the lot, where they continued business as usual. In October, Jack Halverson began construction on the new building, and they opened their doors a week before Christmas. Quality and service were hallmarks at Brown's. An honest opinion on how you looked was always given. There were many pairs of pants hemmed at 10 to 6 on a Saturday night, just in time for a wedding dance, and Dell opened up on Sundays if you needed rubber boots or clothes for work. Fashion shows continued in school gyms and at the arena with the trade fair, and local models in all sizes were sure to display the latest fashions. Proceeds always went to a worthwhile project. Volunteers and store staff spent countless hours fitting the models, hauling everything to the location, sorting it out, and then hauling it back to the store late at night. Dell and her staff continued to put cars in fair parades and found other ways to participate in community events. Dell was an avid sports sponsor, with the Comets and the Manning Mohawks among her two favorites. Dell took great pride in being on the cutting edge of fashion and spent hours at the market selecting clothing and accessories to keep Manning in style. Her semi-annual 3-day sales had lineups outside the door every morning before she opened. There were lots of cups of coffee, pieces of cake, and cigarettes smoked in the basement of her store. People came to visit, to complain, to commiserate, even to buy new clothes. Dell notes that there was theft even in those days. One time a man came into the store and said he was just looking. Dell happened to see him put a pair of socks in his jacket pocket. She didn't say anything but watched him closely after that, and pretty soon he wanted to try on a pair of jeans. He put his jacket on a chair and went into the dressing room. Dell took the socks out of his pocket and never said a word. Another incident a few years back occurred when Dell received a $100 bill and a note in the mail. Someone had stolen a pair of jeans many years before, and they wanted to pay for them. This warmed Dell's heart to no end.
Gonna take a sentimental journey.
Dell's history with the Legion goes back to at least 1954. At that time, she was the secretary-treasurer, and she was also president for many years. She gave a speech in 1981, which was printed in the Banner Post, and it tells of many of the activities of this club. The Legion Auxiliary was very helpful to many causes in town. They helped to build the Legion Hall, they helped purchase furniture, and they supported a countless variety of other projects. For years, they raised money selling popcorn at 10 cents a bag. Popcorn was sold at bingos, at the local fair, and even at the opening of the Dunvegan Bridge. 600 bags of it at 10 cents a bag. The Legion Auxiliary made a ton of paper poppies and decorated floats for the parade. They also helped put on the Klondike Days. The first one was held in the old curling rink, which is located where the swimming pool is today. The whole town would turn out for their homemade French fries and the entertainment. They had beard-growing contests, can-can girls, and a Klondike Kate. They actually made good money at these events, and they were held for many, many years and then moved over to the arena. One of the most memorable ventures of the Legion Auxiliary was starting the community library. They got the old town office building and set it on the lot next to the present Legion. Then they went door to door collecting books, carded the books, filed them, and had shelves built. The Legion operated the library from 62 until 67, when the Centennial Fund for the town was used to build the Centennial Library. There were no grants and everything was donated. What an awesome gift to the community. Remembrance Day has been a focal point of the Legion and the Auxiliary, and the entire community supports this day. The involvement of the schools preserves the legacy of the Legion, remembering those who served our country. The hundreds of poems and posters are a testament to the dedication by teachers and students. Service clubs actively participate in the tribute on the 11th of November, and Manning proudly hosts a full hall each year for this celebration. For years, this event was organized by Dell, and this year I'm sure she'll be a great volunteer helping the new members who are taking on this day. Thanks for your commitment to keeping the Legion alive in Manning. The Legion Auxiliary has done a wide variety of other things over the years, and Dell has participated in almost every one of them. She's called bingos, decorated floats, cleaned toilets, looked after hall rentals, and more. The fundraising money has gone into many community projects with donations of cash to students, schools, sports teams, hospital items, and more.
If I could read your mind, love, what a tale your thoughts could tell.
If you asked Dell to describe herself, she would say that she's first and foremost a community volunteer, and she wears her vitalized volunteer jacket everywhere. She would say that the first arena was built on sandwiches. They were all made at different houses and then brought to the arena and sold at hockey games. Everything was donated, including the ingredients. When the first arena burnt down in 1967, we can remember her frustration. She was probably upset about all the damn sandwich money that went up in smoke. When the second arena burnt down in 1987, she got right to work alongside the whole community, making sure the next arena would be a first-class facility that would be more fireproof. Dell has taught the Highland Fling and square dance. She has run Carnival Queen contests. She has dressed up in costumes to entertain and amuse at many events, most of which would raise funding for some project or another. She's been in bathtub races, and she's been in jail in bail in 1986 and 20 years later in 2016. One little incident happened when Grandad Brown was the mayor of the town. He invited the Flying Farmers of Alberta to visit Manning. They flew into the airport, and Dell and Jessie dressed up as Eskimos and went to meet them at the airstrip. From there, they went and sat in the corner of the Legion Hall, chewing on foot-long bones during the banquet and speaking to no one. They created quite a spectacle, and the only person who knew who they were was Russ Turner. Even Grandad didn't recognize them. One of Dell's favorite events found her in an elephant race against the RCMP. It was quite a moment in Manning as two huge elephants lumbered down Main Street. The mare won the race, and no one knew who she was. Many of you likely participated in the walkathons that raised money for the swimming pool. The first walkathon was from Manning to Dixonville. Now that was a long walk. You can see it was a pretty excited group at the finish line at that event. The next year, and the year after, we only walked from Manning to Hotchkiss. Prizes were given for the most money raised, the oldest, the youngest, and more. These were popular events, and the money went to the great cause of our first in-ground pool. The first swim in that pool was a momentous occasion for Manning. All the walking had been worth it. Of course, the next controversy was the circus tent top, which extended the short swimming season. There was never a shortage of controversy, but maybe that's why Dell enjoyed municipal politics so much. Dell spent many years on town council and as mayor. There are lots of newspaper articles in the archives covering the many things that were accomplished during this time, and I'm going to put a plug in here for the Banner Post and its importance to our community. The historical record that is created every week is very important, and I thoroughly enjoyed rereading many old issues to prepare for today. Dell was proud of the town, and she spent many hours working on the flower beds at the town office and the old hospital. As mayor, Dell was invited to meet Queen Elizabeth on 2 different occasions. She had trouble meeting the dress requirements with just one outfit, so she took the top half of one and cut the bottom half off another to complete the full-length requirement of the dress. Had to have gloves over her elbows. The salad had pansies. It was quite a little event. Dell was featured in Chatelaine magazine in an issue about women mayors across Canada. Those years saw the completion of the Dell Air Lodge, with the name for the lodge being decided in a contest for the residents. Dell after the mayor, and Air after the sitting MLA, Aladair. The lodge was the culmination of years of lobbying, including carrying a petition door to door in town to get enough signatures so that we could get the facility we needed. Being mayor had its ups and downs. Dell said one of her goals was always to see that Manning had everything that other communities had. This was one of the reasons they brought the controversial and illegal TV dish to town. We were the first town in Alberta to get a satellite TV dish, and at that time newspapers all over Alberta were writing about the pirates. Well, that was us, the town of Manning. Crowded Communications from Vancouver offered to set up a dish and allow the town and area to experience TV from their satellite. Even though it was illegal, the dish was set up and we watched WGN from Chicago and Atlanta's WTBS, marveling at how technology could bring TV signals to us from the US. That first night, we watched Montreal in a live baseball game, and they won, and then the movie Jaws. Lights were on all over town as the whole town entered this new era of communication. Council decided to purchase the dish, and that was only the beginning of the adventure, for the town and for Dell. They were always on the lookout for the CRTC or the DOC, having heard rumors that their dish would be shut down. They even discussed setting up a roadblock if this came to pass, but no one ever came. Next thing you know, Dell was speaking in BC and then at the University of Calgary. The world wanted to know about the little town that had the big dish. She told these dignitaries the tale of a small town in northern Alberta who wanted access to the world. She said they didn't think they were pirates or thieves. She had personally written to Ted Turner, the owner of WTBS, and the owners of WGN, and she told them what Manning was doing and how much they loved their stations. She even offered to pay. Ted Turner replied that he was pleased Manning was enjoying his station, wished us luck, and he didn't mention any charge. The CRTC, Canadian Radio and Television Commission of Canada, also called Dell to a meeting in Saskatoon. She gave them the same sad story about our small town and our desire to have a few amenities. Then she answered a few questions and never heard from them again. Dell did worry during that time that she might go to jail for real. There were many memorable moments that Dell was involved in. MDFP was approved and constructed during this time, and Dell got to present Don Getty with a kiss and a magnificent wolf hide, which the Banner Post reported as costing $850. She had many meetings with government officials over the years, and she had a reputation as being tenacious and hard to say no to. Gary Friedel may have said it most tactfully in his letter to support her nomination for Manning's Citizen of the Year in 2002, and I quote from his letter. "I have seldom found anyone as passionate and dedicated to their community as Dell is. There have been many times that I have found myself on the receiving end of her lobby for something that Manning needs, be it grant funding, municipal services, or the new hospital presently under construction. As you know, it is very hard to say no to her once she is determined to get something done. She might even be known to have aggravated some people from time to time, but I believe this was most often because of her aggressive determination to get things done for the community she loves so dearly. If you measure her success ratio, it certainly speaks for itself." Gary Friedel, MLA, December 2, 2002. Dell's close political connections were always an asset. She counted as friends countless MLAs, MPs, mayors, reeves, and other public officials. Dell even had the good fortune to meet Alison Redford in 2013 when she was presented with the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal. After she had it pinned on, Dell asked, "Can I say something?" The Premier said yes. So Dell asked, "Do you have any influence with the health inspectors? They're ruining small town and community and church fundraising with their stupid rules. We can't even bake cookies and sell them." There was riotous laughter and applause, and Alison promised she would look into this. It's a kind of magic. After her time in municipal politics, Dell was appointed to the Peace River Health Board and then the Peace Regional Health Authority, where she continued to advocate and champion local and provincial health care and issues related to senior citizens. She was instrumental in the building of our latest hospital, and she worked tirelessly for furnishings, decor, and on the memorial donation wall. Many friends have accompanied her on these endeavors, likely again through Dell's very persuasive talk. Doctor recruitment was very important to Dell, and she toured many potential doctors and dentists through our town. On the hospital board, Dell's feisty personality, colorful language, and the ease with which she could voice her opinion made her a popular board member. Unlike most of us, she loved those long meetings and serious debates, always wanting to make sure Manning got what they deserved, including the beautiful new hospital we enjoy today. One thing she never enjoyed is public speaking, even though she has made some great speeches to a lot of VIPs. Dell has always been interested in preserving the history of our community, and to that end she was chair of the Old Hospital Restoration Building Committee. This dedicated group of citizens had the 1947 original hospital restored and declared a provincial historic resource. The project took almost 2 years to complete by the time they raised funds and got approval. As time marched on, Dell took on a new role in the community as the ticket taker at the Aurora Theatre, a role she loved dearly as it put her in contact with area residents once again. There were many important discussions that took place at the ticket wicket, and Dell delivered countless bags of popcorn to the hospital nurses and to patients and their families who were shut in the hospital. When the theatre changed hands with Ian and Brandy, it was a package deal, and Dell was sold with the business. Our family would like to thank the members of the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 139 for the honour they are bestowing on our mother today. We'd like to thank everyone who helped put this celebration together. Manning's indeed a remarkable community with many people who could be recognized as our volunteers are second to none in the world. Maybe today will start a trend. Let's say it now. Let's recognize and show our appreciation to those who make our lives and our communities better places to live. Today we're saying thanks to Dell Harbourne for her commitment and dedication to Manning and area. Since 1950, she has dedicated her life to this town and its citizens. She didn't do this by herself. She had lots of help. But her vision, her candor, and her persistence took us a long, long way. Here's to the next chapter.